They say the greatest deception is yet to come, but what if it's already here? Fear across scriptures and whispered through centuries of prophecy. The figure known as the Antichrist is far more than a villain in Christian lore. He appears in one form or another in almost every major religion, twisting divine symbols, imitating saviors, and unraveling sacred truths from within. Sometimes he doesn't appear monstrous. Sometimes he's radiant, charismatic, even messianic. While many believe they're watching for one man, others see a system, a spirit, a deception that weaves itself into culture, ideology, and even faith itself. But the real question is, are these different stories talking about the same being? Could the Antichrist, the Dajjal, and Armless be cultural echoes of a shared, ancient warning? This journey takes us to forgotten texts, forbidden myths, and unsettling parallels across belief systems to uncover prophecy too widespread to ignore. Contrary to popular belief, the term Antichrist never appears in the book of Revelation. It first emerges in the epistles of John, not as a singular end-time villain, but as a spirit of deception already at work. John writes, "Even now many antichrists have come." It's not one man, it's a pattern, a spiritual force. Yet, over time, Christian interpretation fused this idea with Revelation's beast, the man of sin in 2 Thessalonians, and the false prophet. Together, they formed a composite, a singular Antichrist, a world deceiver, miracle worker, and blasphemer who rises in the last days to lead humanity astray. The medieval church identified him with political enemies. Reformers labeled the papacy itself as Antichrist. In modern times, the title has been placed on dictators, tech moguls, and emerging global systems. At its core, the Christian Antichrist is the perfect counterfeit. He imitates Christ, but inverts his mission. He offers salvation, but delivers control. He promises peace, but brings desolation. Revelation describes his reign in numbers. 42 months of dominion, a mark without which no one can buy or sell. A second beast who gives breath to images and deceives the world with false wonders. To Christians, the Antichrist is both a prophecy and a warning that not all who claim light bring truth, and not all miracles are divine. In Islamic eschatology, the Dajjal is not merely a deceiver. He is the greatest fitna or trial ever faced by humankind. Al-Masih ad-Dajjal is described as a man, blind in one eye, bearing the Arabic word for unbelief across his forehead. He will perform supernatural acts, raising the dead, summoning rain, feeding the hungry. But these are not miracles. They are illusions permitted by God as a test. He emerges in a world gripped by chaos and disbelief. He will claim to be a prophet. Then he will claim to be God. And many, including the religious, will follow him. But Islam offers a resolution. Jesus, known as Isa, returns. He descends near a white minaret in Damascus, breaks the cross, and kills the Dajjal at the gates of Lud. Peace is restored, but not without great cost. The Dajjal is dangerous not because he comes with force, but because he mimics everything people long for: hope, healing, order. He turns faith into a tool of deception. He is not just the Islamic Antichrist. He is a mirror held up to the soul of civilization, showing us how easily we trade truth for spectacle. Armless is a forgotten shadow of Jewish apocalyptic literature. Appearing in medieval midrashim, he is born unnaturally from a statue or demon, depending on the tale. He is described as both beautiful and monstrous, a king of contradiction. His mission, to deceive Israel and destroy faith. Some texts link him to Rome, seeing him as the final oppressor of the Jewish people. Others paint him as a false messiah who leads the world into chaos before the true Redeemer arrives. He defeats sages, corrupts nations, and rules for a short time before the real Messiah, often Messiah ben David, ends his reign. Armless, like the Antichrist and Dajjal, wears sacredness as a disguise. His purpose is not merely destruction, but corruption, to make people believe that holiness has failed them and that only he can restore it. His tale is less known, but no less terrifying. And in the broader tapestry of prophetic lore, he completes a triad: Christian, Islamic, and Jewish visions of the ultimate deceiver. Beyond the Abrahamic traditions, echoes of the Antichrist persist. In Hinduism, we live in the Kali Yuga, the age of darkness. It's a time of moral decay, false teachings, and inverted values. Spiritual leaders become frauds. Sacred texts are twisted, and imposters rise, claiming divine authority. The scriptures warn of those who mimic avatars, especially Koki, the prophesied warrior who ends the Kali Yuga. Before his arrival, false Kokis appear, leading people into further confusion. In Buddhism, similar ideas emerge. Before the true Maitreya, the future Buddha, comes, pretenders will rise. They will dazzle with empty wisdom, turning the path of enlightenment into a marketplace of ego and illusion. These figures don't bear the name Antichrist, but they fulfill his role. They offer light, but deliver shadow. They turn sacred longing into spiritual disorientation. And in every case, whether east or west, the core danger remains the same: a figure who exploits a hunger for truth to sell the lie of self-worship. Why does almost every major faith warn of a deceiver? Carl Jung would call him the shadow, the dark mirror of our aspirations. He is what happens when holiness is mimicked without humility, when truth becomes power, when worship turns inward. Maybe the Antichrist is not one person, but a recurring phenomenon, a pattern of spiritual seduction that reemerges in every era, a beast that changes names, faces, and languages, but not its nature. Perhaps these figures, Dajjal, Armalus, the beast, the false avatars, are cultural memories of a primordial archetype, or maybe they're warnings left by ancient wisdom, encoded across belief systems to guard against a very real, coming deception. In any case, the message is consistent. Beware of those who claim to be saviors while demanding your soul. So, who is the Antichrist? A man? A prophecy? A system? Some believe he is already among us, not in flesh, but in influence, in the cult of personality, in the algorithm that predicts desire, in the ideologies that promise paradise but silence dissent. He might not rise on a throne, but on a screen, not with miracles, but with convenience, not in opposition to religion, but disguised as a fulfillment. The Antichrist may not need to fight faith. He may only need to replace it. Across scriptures, myths, and doctrines, one idea remains. The deceiver does not appear as evil. He appears as everything we've ever wanted. And that's what makes him so dangerous.